from a backseat view. In Daddy's rig, just me and you. Dashboard lights and diesel hum through desert skies and setting suns. He'd point out stars and little towns. Said one day, son, you'll settle down. But for now, keep watching scenes through backseat window dreams. Every mile was a story told through mountain winds and desert cold. With a thermos full and a map well worn, we chased the dawn from dusk to morn. That old truck was our flying machine, where life was big and roads were clean. I was just a boy with cowboy jeans, living in those window dreams. We'd stop at diners off the track, eat pie and laugh till the night came back. I learned to count by highway signs and spell out names on exit lines. He'd say this road will shape your ways, but home is where your spirit stays. And though I never knew what that could mean, it echoed in my window dreams. Every turn, each long white line built the world inside my mind. I saw more light from that backseat than some folks see on both their feet. He gave me more than I had seen by letting me ride those endless scenes where freedom rolled in diesel steam. And I dream my window dreams. Now I drive with my little one. He points to clouds and chases sun. And I smile as I hear him say, are we there yet or far away? And I tell him just like Dad told me, the ride is where you're meant to be. And I see it in his eyes so green, that spark of window dreams. Every mile holds something gold, not just stories but truths untold. Though Daddy's gone, I see his grin each time the engine starts again. The past rolls on through rearview scenes, but I hold tight to what it means to dream out loud through silent screens. Those backseat window dreams. Left home at 17 with a hat full of dreams, dust on my boots and ripped up jeans. Mama cried but smiled through pain, said promise me you'll come home again. Daddy shook my hand, proud and stern, win or lose you live and learn. The sun was low, the road was wide, and I could hear that saddle cry. Call of the saddle, the sound of the crowd, 8 seconds to glory, my heart beating loud. Bruised and broken, still I ride, with my family's love right by my side. Through the dirt, the pain, the rodeo lights, I hold on to my roots each night. Cause I'm more than the buck, more than the fall. I'm a boy from the land that gave it all. Highway towns and motel beds, Dreams of home run through my head. Smell of beans on a wood stove flame. Mama's laugh calling out my name. Sometimes I wonder what it's worth, this life of cheers and brutal dirt. When I ride beneath the stars, I feel the pride of where we are. The call of the saddle, the sound of the crowd, 8 seconds to glory, my heart beating loud. Bruised and broken, still I ride, with my family's love right by my side. Through the dirt, the pain, the rodeo lights, I hold on to my roots each night. 'Cause I'm more than the buck, more than the fall. I'm a boy from the land who gave it all. One night I fell and couldn't stand. Thought I'd never grip that rope again, but I saw Mama's eyes in the crowd and heard my father's voice out loud. Son, you were born to rise. The call of the saddle dividing my bones, every scar a story I carved on my own. Through thunder and rain I ride with pride, 'cause home is the fire that burns inside. When I hear the gate and the silence fall, I feel my family's love through it all. I'm more than the score, more than the show. I'm the heart of the land, it still grows. Down a dusty path behind our home, there's a creek I used to roam alone. Barefoot steps through summer grass, chasing dragonflies that darted past. Mama's voice called through the breeze, don't go far and mind your knees. That old rope swing hung in the sun, where the river used to run. Now it's dry, but in my mind that place still flows through me in time. With every laugh, every setting sun, I feel the joy of what we'd done. Skipping rocks till the day was through, in that world I only knew, where love was simple, wild and fun, where the river used to run. Daddy worked with calloused hands, built our home with dreams and plans. He'd sit by the porch with his old guitar, singing songs about who we are. Taught me how to hold a nail and how to rise each time I fail. Said you don't need to chase the sun, and just walk steady, son, and run. Now he's gone, but I still hear his voice in every wind so clear. That little creek, those fading days, come back strong in soft sun rays. It ain't the same, but when I close my eyes, that boy in me never says goodbye. To the love, the fights, the jokes, the fun, where the river used to it's dry, but in my soul that place still keeps me whole. Each laugh, each tear, each setting sun still shines from where we'd begun. Though years have passed and youth is done, I'm still that child out in the sun, living free, just having fun, where the river used to run. Snow didn't fall, but the cold still came in the little old house that knew my name. The fire crackled, the kettle steamed, and I smelled the pies from every dream. She wore her apron stained but clean, moved like time in a peaceful scene. Spoons in the pots, laughter in the hall, wooden floor creaked like it missed us all. That Christmas night on Grandma's land, felt the world slow down by her hand. Cornbread warm, stories old, hearts around the fire never cold. If I could go back, I surely would, to that night where everything felt good. Uncles whistled, kids ran loud, Mama smiled though the stove smoked proud. Grandma hummed as the grave stirred, and every motion whispered her word. A photograph in a broken frame hung on the wall above her cane. It caught my eye when I stood alone. Felt like that place was carved in stone. That Christmas night on Grandma's land, felt the world slow down by her hand. Cornbread warm, stories old, hearts around the fire never cold. If I could go back, I surely would, to that night where everything felt good. She's gone now, the house is bare, but I still smell spice in the winter air. And when the season wraps me tight, I close my eyes and feel that light. That Christmas night, her voice of grace still echoes through this modern place. With every tree and every star, she's closer now than ever far. For Grandma's love still warms my chest, and that last Christmas I felt blessed. He was wild, unbroken, rough to the bone, kept his distance, preferred to roam. The others said he's trouble, don't try, but I saw something gentle in his eye. I brought him apples, I sat by the fence, told him my secrets, just made sense. One quiet dusk, he walked my way, from that moment, he chose to stay. And we rode through the wind side by side, in morning fog or evening tide. He knew my heart, he'd feel my fear. With just a nudge, he'd draw me near. No words were needed, he understood. The horse that chose me, pure and good. He pulled the plow, he crossed the streams, he ran through pastures in all my dreams, through storms and heat, through sun and snow. He carried more than I'd ever show. I taught him nothing, he taught me grace, to trust the quiet, to love this place. And every scar on his old skin told stories of where we'd been. And we rode through the wind side by side, morning fog or evening tide. He knew my heart, he'd feel my fear. With just a nudge, he'd draw me near. No words were needed, he understood. The horse that chose me, pure and good. Now his steps are slow, his eyes turn gray, but still he whinnies when I walk his way. I sit beside him in the fading light, thanking him for every ride. We rode through storms, we faced the skies, we shared the truth behind no lies. And when he's gone, I'll ride alone, but part of him will guide me home. For in my soul, he'll always be the horse that chose and carried me. Found it tucked away in a wooden drawer, an old brown book that smelled like days before. Pages stained with flour and time, each line a taste of love written in a rhyme. Her notes in cursive, faded and worn, add a pinch of salt baked before the dawn. I held it close, like holding her hand, as if she'd guide me back to who I am. Through biscuits and pies, as I hear her laugh by the stovetop fire in a worn-out path. Every Sunday stew, every cake she baked, brings her back in the love she'd made. And in the kitchen's quiet flame, she whispers to me through the recipes and names. I lit the oven, flipped to apple tart, her handwriting still warmed my heart. With every stir, I saw her eyes, the same old apron, the same sunrise. She'd hum hymns while stirring the pot, saying sweetness is something that can't be bought. those dinners on the porch, fresh cornbread soup. Now live again in each moment spent. Through biscuits and pies, I hear her laugh by the stovetop fire in a worn-out path. Every Sunday stew, every cake she baked, brings her back in the love she'd made. In the kitchen's quiet flame, she whispers to me through the recipes in me. Now I cook not just to eat, but to feel her heart in every treat. Her stories rise with every roll, sugar and grace baked into my soul. And when the scent fills up this room, it's like she walks in and clears the gloom. A grandma's love that never dies, still found in cookies and warm meat pies. There's dust on the saddle, wind in my face. I ride through the hills where we used to race. Her laugh still echoes in that summer breeze. Now it's just silence beneath the old oak trees. I carved our names on a weathered fence rail. She said forever, I thought we'd prevail. A love like ours can drift like smoke. One goodbye and a heart that broke. Now I ride through the open land, holding the reins with a trembling hand. Each hoofbeat feels like her goodbye underneath this wide forgiving sky. She's gone, but her memory stays like a ghost in the golden haze. She wore a sundress and boots worn thin. I still remember her dancing grin. We chased the sunset past the creek. Now I chase shadows week by week. Stars don't sparkle quite the same since I no longer whisper her name. But I still ride at the break of day, 'cause it's the only way I pray. Now I ride through the open land, holding the reins with a trembling hand. Each hoofbeat feels like a goodbye underneath this wide forgiving sky. She's gone, but her memory stays like a ghost in the golden haze. Some say time will mend what's torn, but the saddle still feels so warm. Paints pin the dawn, paints pink and gold. I swear I see her strong and bold. So I ride through the open land, not looking back. just tried to stand. She left her mark like morning dew, and every trail and sky so blue. She's gone, but her memory stays like the dust that never fades. I walk these polished streets today in a suit that's made to stay, but deep inside my heart I know where all my roots began to grow. My old man with calloused hands worked the soil and tended lands from dawn to dust in burning sun, so I could chase dreams one by one. He gave his sweat, he gave his tears, so I could stand above my fears. Built a life from dirt and stone to make this world my very own. And every step I take today, I feel his love along the way. I remember worn out boots and dirt, the smell of rain, the fields of hurt, the nights we sat beneath the stars, talking about life and where we are. He never asked for much in return, just wanted me to live and learn that honor's worth more than gold, and strength comes from stories told. He gave his sweat, he gave his tears, so I could stand above my fears. Built a life from dirt and stone to make this world my very own. And every step I take today, I feel his love along the way. Now when I'm standing tall in town, I feel enforced, clear loud, so people feel on solid ground. Remember where you're found. Now where I stand, you're tall and proud. I hear his voice clear and loud. Son, keep your feet on solid ground. Remember where you're found. He gave his sweat, he gave his tears, so I could stand above my fears. Built a life from dirt and stone to make this world my very own. And every step I take today, I feel his love along the way. She was just 18 when the storm rolled in, took her folks and left her with the wind. An old red barn and a field of dreams felt too big for a girl with worn out jeans. But she tied her boots and faced the land with calloused hands in a quiet stand. The cattle knew her steady pace, like she belonged in that sacred place. With saddle and soul she held her ground, no city life lights could ever drown the fire she kept inside her chest. A heart that knew it gave its best. Through droughts and nights that stole her sleep, she learned the roots can still run deep. In the echo of her mama's voice, she found the strength to make the choice. She patched the fences, baled the hay, rode that bay horse every day, fixed the roof when the sky turned black, held the tears and never looked back. Neighbors whisper she won't last, but seasons came, seasons passed. Now they nod when they see her ride, a cowgirl born with farmer pride. With saddle and soul she held her ground, no city lights could ever drown the fire she kept inside her chest. A heart that knew it gave its best. Through lonely meals and heavy skies, she found a peace in lullabies. The wind still hums her mother's song, and somehow she keeps riding on. She framed old photos on the wall, wore daddy's hat when she felt small, planted seeds in April's rain, and whispered through the window pane, I'm still here and I won't fall. This is my home, I'll give it all. With saddle and soul she held her ground, no storm could shake what she had found. Her love was written in the land, etched in every grain of sand. Long time moves on, she stands so tall, with memories that never fall. And every hoofbeat down the lane, a parent's dreams still ride again. Left the ranch at 17, a dream packed in his hand, with dirt still on his boots and heart tied to the land. Mama cried beside the gate, said, son, don't lose your way. And daddy gave a nod like he had nothing left to say. He rode from some small cottage where the city lights burn cold. Ma, I miss your cornbread and that coffee from the old black stove. Said the books were full of numbers, but his thoughts were full of cows. And he swore he'd trade that lecture hall for just one plowing now. The letters from the field sent with ink and homesick pride, dreams of finding something more, but missing what's behind. He chased a better future, like they said he always should, but he'd give the world to hear a rooster crowing in the woods. Winter came and with it doubt, but he pushed on through the storm, reading song lines late at night, wrapped in mama's quilt still warm. Said they talk about success like it's some mountain you must climb, but I think I left it standing in that pasture back in time. One spring break he came home, kissed the horses, hugged the dogs, ate 3 helpings at the table and stacked wood beside the logs. But come that Sunday his roots in sight. But some roots pull too heavy when the moon is full at night. Now he's teaching kids in school about crops and open skies, showing photos of the homestead with a mist still in his eyes. Says the world out there is big, but peace is not a place. It's the scent of burning cedar in your mother's warm embrace. Letters from the field, now kept in his own drawer, reminding him that dreams don't mean you must close every door. He found his voice in stories that the roosters used to sing. Now he writes his student songs about the smell of spring. Left the ranch at 17, a dream packed in his hand, with dirt still on his boots and heart tied to the land. Mama cried beside the gate, said, son, don't lose your way. And Daddy gave a nod like he had nothing left to say. He wrote from some small college where the city lights burn cold. Ma, I miss your cornbread and that coffee from the old black stove. Said the books were full of numbers, but his thoughts were full of cows. And he swore he'd trade that lecture hall for just one plowing now. Letters from the field, sent with ink and homesick pride. Dreams of finding something more, but missing what's behind. He chased a better future, like they said he always should. But he'd give the world to hear a rooster crowing in the woods. Winter came and with it doubt, but he pushed on through the storm, reading song lines late at night, wrapped in Mama's quilt still warm. Said they talk about success like it's some mountain you must climb, but I think I left it standing in that pasture back in time. One spring break he came home, kissed the horses, hugged the dogs, ate 3 helpings at the table, and stacked wood beside the logs. But come that Sunday evening, he was back beneath the neon, waving from a window while the dusk in him was strong. And letters from the field, folded neat with hope and strain, each line a bridge from asphalt back to that dirt lane. He fought to make them proud and keep his roots inside, but some roots pull too heavy when the moon is full at night. Now he's teaching kids in school about crops and open skies, showing photos of the homestead with a mist still in his eyes. Says the world out there is big, but peace is not a place. It's the scent of burning cedar and your mother's warm embrace. Final letters from the field, now kept in his own drawer, reminding him that dreams don't mean you must close every door. He found his voice in stories that the roosters used to sing, and now he rides writes his student songs about the smell of spring.